Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Kathy Dobbins. And remarking upon my use of the term shadow and shadow work in other vlogs, Kathy asks if I could explain what this means. And in my opinion, shadow work is one of the most important aspects of magical practice that commonly gets short shrift. Many people who teach magic never even really approach shadow work, whereas in my opinion it's one of the very most important things a magic user can study and work with. And the reason for this is that in magic, it's not only our conscious desires that we work with, it's also our inner belief systems, our expectations, our feelings about ourselves. All of these things are very important in terms of magic actually being effective, because you cannot create what you do not believe can be, or what you do not believe you can have. You know, there are people who will, to give an example, work for a really good job in their life, but if they don't believe they can have that really good job, there's no way they can manifest it. Or they'll work for prosperity, but if they believe they can't have prosperity, it's not going to come, because that inner belief system will stop that magic. A person similarly might work for a wonderful love relationship in their life, but if they don't believe they can be loved, or if they believe that love relationships are actually a bad thing, they will stop it from manifesting in an unconscious way. For this reason, it's really important that we examine those unconscious parts of ourselves, and that's what the shadow is. The shadow are the parts of yourself that are hidden from your conscious self. And it includes a great many different things, including the parts of ourselves we reject, the parts of ourselves we don't like, the parts of ourselves we deny, but also the belief systems and expectations we're not conscious of. And all of these things can trip up our magical work, as well as every other aspect of our lives. Self-examination is vitally important to the magic worker, as is self-healing. And ultimately, magic is a path of self-healing. Even if you're not consciously pursuing it that way, it ultimately will involve that, at least if you're at all effective, because you can't be effective without healing these shadow parts of yourself. And in my personal opinion, shadow work is vitally important to every magical student, and really should be something that they are doing from the very first lesson. And what is shadow work? Shadow work is when you go into the shadow and see what is there. You see what belief systems limit you, you see what parts of yourself you're rejecting, you see parts of yourself that are wounded, and this is, again, vitally important to the magic user, because the things we don't see certainly can trip us up. Examples of what shadow work is anything that addresses things that hold you back from within, limiting belief systems, fears, anxieties, and so forth. So, it's very important, and it's something that really everyone should be doing. But unfortunately, it's often ignored by people who teach magic. And I would assume that's because they were not taught it themselves. So those are my thoughts on the matter. I hope you find them interesting, and until next time, may you blessed be. Today's vlog is brought to us by the term outer court.
Outer court. Many temples have both inner and outer court. In such temples, the inner court is made up of the actual clergy of the temple, while the members of the outer court are free to attend temple ceremonies but are not expected to train for the clergy.